Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball. Top of the fourth inning, Malachi Morgan, Geneva starter, pulled after 3 2/3 innings of work. He gave up 4 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, while walking 5 and striking out 2. A new pitcher in the ballgame for Geneva. It's the right-hander Preston Leach, following Ty Martineau getting plunked. That was the end of the line in the top of the fourth inning with 2 outs, with Elmira ahead by 4. Sixth matchup of the season between the Pioneers and the Geneva Red Wings. We're glad you could join us for all the action on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. TJ Grimesti to dig in from the right side. TJ in the ball game 0 for 1. He's gotten walked, or rather 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop Fogg in the top of the third inning to lead off, and now he lines one into shallow left field. Going out as a shortstop Fogg. In comes the left fielder Freeman to his left. Makes a running grab to conclude the top half of the fourth inning. So for the Pioneers, no runs and no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll take it to the home half. Elmira still ahead by 4 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball for the bottom of the fourth inning of action as Bobby Boying takes the rubber from the right side, fires a breaking ball, low and away to Aiken Santana. First year Geneva Red Wings, second year at Embry-Riddle University. Santana from the right side. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 in the Geneva order to come to the plate in the home half of the fourth against the right-hander Bobby Boying, who fires over the inside corner for a called strike 1. Santana followed by the left fielder Braden Freeman, who's made a litany of nice catches out in shallow left throughout the course of the ballgame, and Jaden Madrid, the center fielder. This one dribbled back up the middle. Grabowski spins to his right, fires off balance, tag applied, not in time, as the throw from Grabowski pulled Palmer off the bag. So it'll be a leadoff infield single for Santana. He's now 1 for 2 in the ballgame. 4th hit for Geneva across 3 1/3 innings of work against Bobby Boying. The only error committed by the shortstop, Aiden Grabowski, but he made up for it big time. A huge play in the bottom of the third inning, a ground ball up the middle from the shortstop, Chase Fogg. Unbelievable play as he dove and made a throw in time. Here's a liner right to the aforementioned Grabowski at shortstop from the left-handed hitting Braden Freeman. So Freeman's retired for out number 1 on a sharp line out. He's now 1 for 2 in the ballgame, and here comes Madrid. So it'll be a ready-on-ready matchup, 1 on with 1 out. Santana medium-sized lead, and Madrid gets plunked in the helmet. So Jaden will take first, as advancing up to second in the process is Santana. Solid speed on the bases for Geneva, and with one out, it'll bring up the right-handed hitting extra hitter, Sam Fleming. Fleming batting .200 across the season in 14 ball games. He's gotten the start in 9 of them. 6 hits, 1 double, and 2 RBIs to go along with a .294 on-base percentage. OPS at .527. Righty-on-righty matchup. Boyne gets his sign and comes set from the right side of the rubber. Santana's off a second, Madrid off a first. Outfield at medium depth. Simmons even with the bag at third. Fastball in tight to Fleming. 1-0 the count. Fleming a 2-run double that he smacked into the left center field gap in the bottom of the second inning. Couple nice pieces in the ballgame. He had Vinny Favada for the Pioneers, a 2-run triple on the top of the first as he split the right center field gap. 1-0 offering from Bobby Boyne to Fleming is fouled off. 1-1 the count. So 1-1 with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pioneers leading Geneva 6-2 in what's the second road ball game for Elmira at John Saloni Field at McDonough Park. Boyne sets and fires home the 1-1. Breaking ball just misses below the knees. 2-1 to Fleming. Boyne sets on the left side of the rubber, fires, and a high fly ball to deep center field. Going back is Baker, settles under it. Brett makes the catch, tagging for third is Santana. Throw comes to Grabowski, throw over to third and Simmons. It's too late as Santana takes third, so a productive out from Fleming as he flies to deep center. Santana off a third, Madrid off a first. Runners on the corners for Geneva now with 2 outs. A hit in the inning against Boyne, 4 in the ball game, as 2 runs have come in to score against the aforementioned Pioneers right-hander. In the ball game so far for Bobby Boyne, 1 walk and 1 strikeout through 3 2/3. As Madrid slightly wanders 5 to 10 feet off the first base bag. First offering high and away. 4-1. Boyne thought he got a called strike. He's asking the plate umpire if it was up and gets a nod from the catcher Manganiello. 6-4-1 for the Pioneers, 2-4-0 for Geneva. Boyne fires a 1-0, firing down to second high. Here comes Hammer's throw to the plate, tag applied by Manganiello in time. So a nice throw. Play goes 2-4-2 as the throw comes to the plate to nab Santana to conclude the bottom of the 4th inning. So for Geneva, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We'll take it to the 5th. Elmira ahead by 4 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball. Time for the top of the 5th inning with Elmira ahead of Geneva 6-2. As Preston Leach remains on the mound, going into his first full inning of relief work. kicks and fires a fastball on the outside corner to the right-handed hitting Brandon Dubeck as Brandon takes a called strike one. So 0-1 the count for the Pioneers' extra hitter in the ball game. Dubeck getting some time behind the plate and getting well acclimated with the Geneva Red Wings this season. You look at Brandon Dubeck, 2 more times he reaches base today, comes around to score twice more. We alluded to that. 2 double, 4 RBI ball game back on June 14th in what was the Pioneers' first road victory of the season, a pretty instrumental part of that streak in which the Pioneers won 7 out of 9 games in a week, including a walk-off against Geneva on their home field at Dunfield. 4 RBI game for Dubeck. Faces a 1-2 count here with nobody out. Leach fires, breaking ball over the outside corner for a called strike 3. Dubeck sat down for out number 1. So a good start to the inning for Leach as the middle third in the Pioneers' order is due up. As you saw Dubeck just strike out looking there. Michael Palmer now comes to the plate, followed by Brett Baker. Palmer, a really solid ball game so far. An RBI double for the aforementioned in the top of the third inning. First pitch to Mike, and he pops one up foul behind the plate. 0-1 the count. Palmer got the start at first base in last night's ball game. Had a quiet 0-for-3 night, but it ended with a loud thud. Flew out to left field, struck out swinging, and struck out looking on a pitch that, suffice to say, was not in the strike zone, and he voiced his displeasure and got tossed. But he's right back in the ball game today. And a meaningful contribution, a 2-run double for the Pioneers. Now faces a 0-2 count with 1 out as Leach kicks and fires a ground ball to the right side of the infield. Cutting over is the second baseman with a nice slide. Bermudez throws to first in time to nab the hustling Palmer for the second out. So elite speed and footwork executed. A nice diving stop from Bermudez, who retires Palmer. 2 outs and the base is empty real quick for Brett Baker. Righty on lefty matchup as Leach gets his sign, comes set from the left side of the rubber. Works and fires a dribbler on the ground to first, and it eats up Ratterman and kicks into shallow right field. Rounding first and stopping right there is Baker. It'll likely be ruled in E3 on the Geneva first baseman. So Baker reaches with 2 outs. So the first error of the ball game for the Red Wings, either side with 1 in the ball game. Grabowski committing it in the bottom of the second for the Pioneers, and now Ratterman in the top of the 5th for the Red Wings. It's the left-handed hitting John Simmons to step in. Second consecutive lefty to come to the plate. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Elmira in cruise control with a 4-run advantage. First offering from Leach, fastball right down Broadway. Simmons taking for a called strike 1. John in the ball game, 2 walks, came around to score on his first walk. That came at the top of the first inning. Simmons also walking in the third. Pioneers with a 5-run top of the first. They sent 9 hitters to the plate. 2-run triple off the bat of Vincent Favada as a broken bat pop fly. Shallow left field. Santana gives it a look. It's going to go out of play. So the count goes to 0-2 on the Pioneers' third baseman. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Pioneers ahead of the Geneva Red Wings 6-2. We're glad you could join us on this Sunday afternoon in your extended 4th of July weekend on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Simmons, a meaningful contributor in multiple different facets for this Elmira Pioneers team this summer. We mentioned the first homer that he hit on the season in a Pioneers uniform. That came Thursday night against Auburn. Been finding that offensive stroke. Yes, a .203 batting average, but solid numbers otherwise. .380 on-base percentage as he takes a fastball high, stealing second base in the process as Brett Baker has the throw caromed off the glove of the shortstop Fogg into shallow center field. So the count remains 1-2 with 2 outs. For the Pioneers, they have a runner in scoring position, courtesy of Brett Baker reaching on an E3. Another stolen base for Brett, and you want to talk about a guy who's had meaningful contribution. That has been Brett Baker. You turn it back to last night's ball game against Newark, and Brett Baker reached base in 3 of 4 plate appearances, including going 1 for 2 with a single in the bottom of the 9th. That was part of a Pioneers rally. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs. Tanner Carranza was hitting in place due to the bit of a shuffling after Palmer did get thrown out of the game. So a bit of a tougher night for the Pioneers after the 6th inning yesterday. They were trailing though 6-1, and they cut the deficit to only a run, so you know that toughness doesn't reward you any wins in the standings, but nonetheless, Pioneers still stringing together some very formidable ball games, even in the game on Friday afternoon, in which Brendan Hayes was phenomenal across 6 innings of work. Pioneers, with good defensive help, just couldn't get the bats rolling in the end. Payoff pitch with 2 outs, a called strike 3 over the outside corner to Simmons, who's not too thrilled with that call as he departs. In the inning for your Elmira Pioneers, they score no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. 2 backwards Ks in the inning for the right-hander Leach, who continues to roll along. Halfway through, Pioneers ahead 6-2 on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Fans, be sure to come out to Dunn Field this Tuesday, July 8th, as your Pioneers return home to host the very same Geneva Red Wings for a 6:30 p.m. first pitch. Doors open promptly at 5:30. For tickets, be sure to call 607-734-2690. Go Pios. Bobby Boying on for the bottom of the 5th, ground ball to the shortstop, Grabowski. To throw across the diamond, picked out of the dirt by Palmer in time. As hustling down the baseline in the process, looking to reach was Christian Bermudez, but he's retired for out number 1. A nice play from Grabowski. Goes to his backhand side, but goes forehand with the glove. Makes the strong throw across the diamond. Always guaranteed a defensive clinic when Aiden Grabowski is manning the shortstop position. 6-3 goes to put out. 1 out and the base is empty. And that brings up the left-handed hitting first baseman Brock Ratterman. As Boying kicks and fires a nice changeup from Boying. And that's the exact kind of stuff that Andy Drum has alluded to previously when speaking, saying that Bobby Boying is changing up his speeds, going in and out, high and low. It's that crafty kind of pitching that's valued so much for the Pioneers, as Boying induces a swing and a miss there. Another proof positive example, no strikeouts in 6 innings against Niagara Falls last Sunday. Or rather, 5 innings, excuse me. He didn't need it, though, as this one grounded foul down the first base line. Count remains 0-2 on the left-handed hitting Brock Ratterman. But the contribution that Boying brings to the table is just consistency. Keeps the ball low in the zone and gets a lot of ground balls in the process. Looking to retire Ratterman for the second out of the inning, and the fastball just off the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Bobby a bit of a smile. Still nobody warming up in the Elmira bullpen. So that's the good news for the Pioneers. Boying giving some solid length to open up the ball game. 1-2 with 2 outs, and the floating changeup dribbled foul up against the Geneva dugout. Count remains 1-2 on Ratterman. Boying comes set. Kicks and fires, breaking ball, that time further inside. Just tapping it off the knob of the bat was Ratterman to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. Boeing sets, delivered, tipped in and out of the glove of Manganiello as Ratterman remains alive. Good at bat being put together by the Geneva first baseman. As now Boeing's going to throw to Palmer at first. That one's high. What the heck is going on? Thought it was a foul ball. Apparently not. Yeah, they're going to call it foul. That's... wow. Interesting verdict for a moment there. So a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out. As Ratterman gets set to dig back in. One-two from Boeing again. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. So 2-2 the count as Boeing just barely misses. Gets set. Fires home a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Boeing going to the fastball for out number 2 in the inning. In the ball game for Bobby. It's his second strikeout. Bases remain empty for the right-handed hitting catcher, Zane Barron. First pitch from Boeing to Barron is a breaking ball high and in tight. Righty on righty matchup. 1-0 the count. Pioneers ahead by 4. Equal in the hit department are both sides. The Bios and Red Wings. 6 runs on 4 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. For the Red Wings, 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. Hammer handles the high hop at second base. Throws on to first in time to retire the hustling Barron. To conclude a 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th for Bobby Boeing. Faces the minimum, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. We'll take it to the 6th. Elmira ahead by 4 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball as we enter the top of the 6th inning. Vincent Favada comes to the plate for Elmira. It'll be Favada followed by Manganiello and Hammer, the 8, 9, and 10 in the Pioneers order, due up against Preston Leach in his second full inning of work as the right-hander kicks and fires off the plate. 2-0 the count. For Vincent, a 2-run triple in the top of the first inning. He was stranded on third in the process, but part of a 5-run, 3-hit inning for Elmira. 2-0, and he spanks this one on a line into shallow left center field. Charging on is the center fielder Madrid, who makes a nice running grab to retire Favada for out number 1. So 1 out, and the base is empty in the top of the 6th inning. That'll bring up the left-handed hitting Anthony Manganiello. 0 for 2 in the ball game with a strikeout. Swinging in the top of the first, and a fly ball to Elijah Benton in right field, his last trip to the plate. First offering to Manganiello, and Anthony takes down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Anthony laying off the heater in the dirt. As Leach comes set quickly from the left side of the rubber. Rocks and fires home a 1-0. Fastball just off the outside edge and high. 2-0 to Manganiello. Fastball high. 3 balls and no strikes with 1 out. Fastball inside corner. Anthony taking for a called strike 1. It'll be a 3-1 to Manganiello with 1 out as he flies it third base side foul out of play. It'll be a full count. Leach comes set, fires home a payoff pitch. Manganiello rolls one on the ground. First base side foul out of play. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Pioneers ahead of the Geneva Red Wings 6-2. Elmira's last meeting versus the Red Wings, a 6-3 defeat to Geneva as Red Wings took the ball game 6-3 at Dunn Field. Pioneers looking to reverse those fortunes today. Payoff pitch with 1 out. Flied into shallow left, retreating out as the shortstop Fogg in front of the left fielder Freeman, and he puts it away for out number 2. So here comes Brendan Hammer from the right side of the plate with 2 away. Hammer a fly ball to center and a strikeout looking, 0 for 2 in the ball game. First offering from Leach, looking to complete a second scoreless inning of work is a breaking ball outside. 1-0 the count. Leach fires, fastball high, Hammer takes 2-0. Hammer rolls one on the ground, foul wide of third. Santana to the backhand side, couldn't come up with it, but a moot point as it's now a 2-1 count to Brendan. 2 outs and the base is empty, top of the 6th. Pioneers second baseman rounding out the Elmira batting order this evening. Hammer takes inside. Cut fastball from the righty Leach. 3-1 the count. One fastball top of the zone. Hammer taking for a called strike 2. So it'll be a payoff pitch with 2 outs and the base is empty. Elmira ahead by 4, top of the 6th. Pioneers will have an off day tomorrow as Hammer lines one into shallow left center field. That's going to dunk in front of a cutting Madrid, who plays it on the bouncer. No, he does not. It skips over his head and all the way to the center field fence. Freeman back to retreat. Hammer racing around second. He's heading for third. Cutoff throw comes into Chase Fogg at the shortstop position on a bounce. So that's going to go down. I don't think it even touched Jaden Madrid's glove, or else the baseball would have slowed down. That just straight up took a hop over Madrid, who's only about 5'7". So it bounced over his head, went almost all the way to the wall. Hammer has now a triple. And Aiden Grabowski steps to the dish with 2 outs. Righty on righty matchup with Preston Leach. Comes set, deep breath, left side of the rubber, rocks and fires. Breaking ball off the outside corner. 1-0 the count. Breaking ball chopped. Foul up against the Pioneer dugout. 1-1 the count. So it'll be a 1-1 to Grabowski with 2 outs. Aiden at the top of the Pioneers batting order. Takes a fastball high and in tight. 2-1. For Grabowski, 25 hits, 14 RBIs on the season. Among the team lead with TJ Gurmesti. 2-1 with 2 outs. Fastball in tight. 3-1 the count. In the inning for the Pioneers, they'll look to make good of the Brendan Hammer triple to deep left center. 3-1 fastball high for ball 4. So Grabowski reaches base for the 3rd time in 4 plate appearances. Grabowski a .383 on-base percentage entering this afternoon's ball game, as he'll get down to first base with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Ty Martineau. So Martineau's in from the left side. He walked to the top of the first, flew out to Braden Freeman in left in the second as he takes the fastball low and away for ball 1. Got plunked in the top of the 4th. Runners on the corners for Elmira. 2 outs top of the 6th inning. Brendan Hammer the lead off of 3rd. Aiden Grabowski extends his lead off of 1st. Deep breath from the righty Leach as Grabowski takes off. 1-0 fastball inside. Fire down to second base. Hammer's coming to the plate. The throw from Fogg. Tag applied by the catcher. And Barron not in time as Hammer comes in to score. Barron pleading his case, but a moot point as Elmira tacks on another run. It's now 7-2. So a double steal successfully executed by both Hammer and Grabowski, and now the plate umpire is going to call the field umpire in, but how would the field umpire have a better angle there than the plate umpire? That's really frustrating if they call him out. And it seems as if, they're going to call him safe. Thomas Eaton, the Geneva manager, not entirely thrilled with that call. Bit of a smile as he talks things over with the plate umpire. So Eaton will casually depart as Martineau steps to the plate, and now 7-2 lead for the Pioneers in the top of the 6th. Leach sets, fires, fastball inside, 1-0. So good speed by Hammer as he crosses the plate. A run on a hit home in the inning against Preston Leach, with Grabowski really dancing off a second, and Leach will step off the mound and take his time. So now 7 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error for Geneva. Nice Sunday afternoon here in Geneva, New York. Apologies for the discrepancy on the pitch count as Martineau walks here and draws ball 4. He's a little bit confused with the pitch count, especially considering the throw down to second base. So 7-2 the Pioneers lead. Top of the 6th inning. 2 outs. 2 runners on. Grabowski's in scoring position. He's off a second. Martineau's off a first as Ty reaches base safely for the 3rd time in Fort plate appearances in the ball game, and it'll bring up the right-handed hitting TJ Grimesti, who takes a fastball inside for ball 1. Grimesti in the ball game is 0 for 2. He got plunked in the top of the 1st and came around to score. Good RBI opportunity for Grimesti. 1-0 from Leach with 2 outs. A fastball over the outside corner. TJ taking for a called strike 1. So 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Leach a peek at Grabowski off of the second base bag as he takes off. Fastball off the plate, and now Grabowski's hung up as Martineau steals second. So now all the way back to first, the catcher Barron's going to throw high as Martineau steps out of the baseline. He's out. That'll do it in the top of the 6th inning. So a bit of a misunderstanding there. Grimesti will get a new life in the 7th. So for the Pioneers in the inning, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and because of the blunder on the bases, 2 runners left on base. 5.5 through. Elmira ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Geneva for the bottom of the 6th inning of action as Bobby Boying takes the rubber once again for the Pioneers for a 6th inning of work as he delivers a breaking ball in at the knees of Banks for a called strike 1. Pioneers coasting, a 5-run lead. Boying's been phenomenal through 5 innings of work. He's only given up 2 runs on 4 hits while striking out 2, keeping good rhythm on the bump. With pitches like that, a breaking ball inside that Banks cuts through, and Zach Banks, one of the best hitters not only on this Geneva Red Wings team, but in the entire PGCBL. He's been phenomenal. .362 batting average across 25 ball games, 29 hits, 7 extra base hits, a homer, and 18 RBIs as he tips the next offering from Boying into the catcher's mitt in and out of Manganiello. So Banks will stay alive, a 1-2 count. For Banks, his collective OPS at .992 on the season. Not enough good things you can say about him. A .512 slug percentage. As the 0-2 from Boying with nobody out as Banks fouls the fastball back. Banks a very tough at-bat. He went 0 for 3 against the Pioneers back on June 14th. Elmira's handled him well, especially considering the offensive prowess that he provides at the plate. He's got the highest averages, that's average slugging, on-base percentage, and OPS of any Geneva Red Wing who has appeared in 20 or more ball games this season. He's been steady Eddie. So has Aiken Santana, Michael Sardu, Dylan Wolfson. The top of this Red Wings batting order, they can hit the tar off the baseball. That's certainly something that's aided them as they've gotten a couple more wins here in the PGCBL West Division. But there's a swing and a miss. Boying going backdoor breaking ball for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. So here comes Chase Fogg to the plate. Righty hitting shortstop for Geneva with 1 out. As Banks is retired for the second time of the ball game. Banks 1 for 3. Fogg is 0 for 1. A ground ball to Grabowski at short in the bottom of the third. First offering, fastball low, but taken for a called strike from Fogg. The count 0-1. Boing working quickly out of the windup. Kicks and fires, and the breaking ball bounces low in the dirt. Skips past Manganiello. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boing's been smiling through most of his start, and why not? A win today puts the Pioneers back over 500. A very tight and competitive PGCBL West division. So you have Newark and Jamestown as a breaking ball catches the outside corner, called strike to Fogg. 1-2 the count on the Red Wings shortstop as Boing fires, righty on righty. Breaking ball misses off the plate. 2-2 to Manganiello. Newark in action at Russell E. Dietrich Park in Jamestown, New York tonight, taking on the Tarp Skunks. Newark moving into 5th place with the victory over the Pios last night. Frank Jagoda's squad out in Jamestown in 4th place right now. They've been playing their best baseball of the season lately. As the breaking ball check swing fouled off against the Red Wings dugout. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Fogg. Fogg batting .200 across 19 ball games, 13 starts, 9 hits, 4 extra base hits, and 3 RBIs. A swing and a miss. High fastball. Fogg retired for the second out of the inning. So for Bobby Boing, that's strikeout number 4 across 5 2/3. Boing right now in line for what would be his second consecutive victory, and he's well deserving. As Coach Drum has mentioned all season long, he's been one of the more consistent Pioneers on the mound, even in the games in which he's taken a loss. A rubber arm, he leads Pioneers starters in innings entering tonight's ball game at 21, as he deals and induces a swing and a miss from the right-handed hitting Elijah Benton, getting the start in right field tonight. Might I add, Benton getting the start on the mound against the Pioneers last Friday night in Elmira, as the 0-1 fastball off the plate from Boing. 1-1 the count to Benton. Elijah Benton so far in the ball game is 0 for 2, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the bottom of the first and popped up to the third baseman Simmons. Now rolls one on the ground to the backhand side. Simmons, a strong throw across the diamond in time to complete 6 strong innings of work for Bobby Boing, who faces the minimum. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We'll take it to the 7th. Elmira ahead by 5 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to the top of the 7th inning in Geneva. Pioneers ahead 7-2 over the Red Wings. It'll be TJ Gramesti to dig in from the right side against Preston Leach in his 3rd full inning of work, who offers a fastball in tight for ball 1 to Gramesti. It'll be TJ followed by Brandon Dubeck and Michael Palmer, the 3, 4, and 5 in the Elmira order. Leach comes home with a 1-0, spanked on a line, into the left center field gap. That's a base hit. That's going to split both Freeman and Madrid and go all the way to the base of the left center field wall. Gramesti rounds second. He's headed to third. Throw comes into Fogg. It's a stand-up leadoff triple in the top of the 7th for TJ Gramesti. So for the Pioneers, that's already the third triple in the ball game, a season high in that category, as Elmira are already off and running with a 5-run advantage. Notches what's their 6th hit of the day. And a good start now with a potential 8th run of the ball game, 90 feet away from Brandon Dubeck as Geneva brings their infield in. Leach fires a breaking ball off the outside corner. 1-0 the count to Brandon. Dubeck in the ball game. He's reached base twice and come around to score twice. Fastball inside. Dubeck taking 2 balls and no strikes. For Grimesti, that's the 2nd triple on the season. And the 33rd hit across 26 ball games. TJ's been phenomenal. 3 straight misses to Brandon Dubeck. So the count's 3-0 with nobody out. Geneva currently with no action up in their bullpen. We'll look to see how long Preston Leach in his relief outing lasts. As he comes set from the left side of the rubber. Kicks and fires. Fastball high for ball 4. So Doobie's on. Runners on the corners with nobody out. Grimesti leads off a third. Dubeck off a first. And that'll bring up Michael Palmer. Mike with a RBI double in the top of the third. An inning in which gave Elmira a then 4-run advantage. Elmira with another run in the top of the 6th. They now lead by 5 as the fastball blocked in the dirt from the catcher Barron. 1-0 the count to Palmer with nobody out. Swing and a miss, tailing fastball. Nice 2-seam run off the outside edge as Palmer chases through it. 1 ball and a strike. 1-1, fastball in tight. Palmer taking 2-1. Two-one, fastball inside. 3-1 the count to Palmer. With nobody out, should Mike draw a walk, bases would be loaded for Brett Baker. Now some action getting loose in the Geneva bullpen. 3-1 with nobody out, and the fastball's high for ball 4. So 2 consecutive walks, 1 to Dubeck and now to Palmer. It'll be Grimesti off a third, Brandon off a second, Mike off a first, as we'll get a brief mound visit from the Geneva Red Wings pitching coach. This season, you can connect with the Pioneers like never before with exclusive content on our social media platforms. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at the Elmira Pioneers. Bases are loaded for Elmira. Top of the 7th inning with nobody out. Pioneers looking to build upon their 5-run advantage. A strong ball game so far, all thanks in part to Bobby Boying, who's gone 6 strong innings of work, 4 strikeouts while surrendering only 4 hits, 2 earned runs to his name. As Elmira looking to lock down victory number 14 on the season in ball game number 28, a little more than halfway home in the Perfect Game Collegiate League regular season. Pioneers, for the most part, from about game 8 to game 22, good half of the season, held a playoff spot. They were as high as first place on June 22nd with an 11-5 record. They felt really good, and then after that, a bit of a tough stretch last week, which has the Pioneers back at 500 right now, but looking to rechange those fortunes here. Bases are full, nobody out. First offering, breaking ball inside corner to Baker. Brett taking for a called strike 1. 0-1. with nobody out. A wide lead for each base runner off the bag. And misses off the plate. 1-1 the count. First pitch. Second offering to Baker. 2-1 the count. Two one with nobody out. Dribbled on the ground. First base side foul. As up against first base coach was Brock Ratterman. So it'll be a 2-2 to Baker with nobody out. And it looks like that might be Jack Turner at first in place of Ratterman. So middle infield up the middle at the regular double play depth. They let the run score to get the out. 2-2 with nobody out. A tip into the catcher's mitt of Barron as Baker's retired for out number 1 in the inning. So after a triple and 2 consecutive walks, a Geneva arm still getting loose in the bullpen. That'll bring up a left-handed swinging John Simmons. Should the Pioneers have a 5-run inning, they could put the game on ice in the home half of the 7th with a victory. Simmons digs in and takes the breaking ball inside. 1-0 the count. Fastball inside corner, a called strike 1 to Simmons. So it'll be a 1-1 from Leach to Simmons with 1 out. Next offering on the way. John barrels it up. Grabbed at first by Turner. He's going to come home. Tag applied. Not in time. So a run scores. It's a fielder's choice and an RBI for Simmons as the 8th run of the ball game crosses the plate for Elmira, who now possess a 6-run advantage. So rather, Simmons is washed. The run comes in to score, as it'll be a 3 unassisted. It's Vincent Favada with 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position. Elmira ahead by 6. Righty-on-righty matchup with Leach, who kicks and fires a fastball in tight. 1-0 the count. Next offering to Favada. He dribbles one foul. 1-1 the count. Favada taking on the outside corner for a called strike 2. 1-2 on the way from Leach. A swing and a miss with the breaking ball. Vince is retired for out number 3 in the inning. But for the Pioneers, another run and a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 6.5 through. Elmira ahead by 6 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers lead 8-2 as we enter the home half of the 7th inning. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 in the Geneva order due up to the plate. Santana followed by Freeman and Madrid. Starts off with the third baseman, Aiken Santana, against Bobby Boying in his 7th inning of work, who's looked brilliant so far. Phenomenal. Every adjective you'd like to use, that's what Boying has been, giving the Pioneers fantastic length heading into an off day tomorrow. 2 home games for Elmira this week. They'll get Geneva on Tuesday evening and then Newark once again on Wednesday evening, so a reverse from the last 2 days. And then have an off day and then have a very busy weekend next week, and you'll get the Batavia Muck Dogs on Friday on the road as Santana lines one into left field for a base hit. Favada will get it in quickly. So a leadoff single for Santana. For Aiken, that's his 2nd hit in the ball game, 5th hit of the game for Geneva. So Braden Freeman will now come to the plate with nobody out. First pitch from Boying to Freeman is a breaking ball inside. Left-handed hitting Geneva left fielder takes. It's 1-0 the count. Freeman now at Jackson State in Mississippi. Started off at Copiah Lincoln Community College. One of the farthest traveling players in the Perfect Game Collegiate League this summer. Now, obviously, besides Florida, the coast maybe, but Terry, Mississippi native who chops the next offering foul. A ball and a strike. Nobody out. A small lead for Santana off of first. 1-1 from Boying. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. A nasty backdoor pitch over the outside corner that Freeman cuts through. 1-2 the count with nobody out. One-two from Bobby Boying. Fastball taken high. Two and two the count to Freeman with nobody out. Breaking ball called strike 3. Freeman frustrated with that call as he departs. Out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And a 5th strikeout of the game for Bobby Boying across 5 1/3. So here comes Jaden Madrid with 1 out and a runner on. He digs in from the right side against Boying. Up the middle, Grabowski and Hammer at regular double play depth. Simmons crashes in at third in anticipation of a potential bunt from the speedy Madrid, who takes a fastball outside from Bobby Boying. 1-0 the count. Breaking ball. Outside corner, a called strike 1. People coming out of the Geneva dugout as Thomas Eaton's going to complain. As he's going to talk things over with the plate umpire. Shanti hasn't gotten kicked out of the game yet. So, yeah, I think he did just get thrown out. Thomas not too thrilled as he kicks dirt on home plate. You can hear Jaden Madrid say, "That's horrible." So, Eaton gets thrown out of the game. Can hear the fans in Geneva say something as well. Very patient on the part of the plate umpire. He let Eaton get away with a lot of arguing before he got tossed, but Eaton continued to be demonstrative, and that earns his disqualification in the ball game. So a 1-1 count to Madrid with one out as he's talking things over with Bobby Boying. So 1-1 the count with one out. Home half of the 7th inning. Pioneers ahead 8-2. Boying fires 1-1 and is popped up from Madrid. Hammer settles under it, puts it away for out number 2. So 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Sam Fleming. Breaking ball, outside corner for a called strike 1. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pioneers ahead by 6. As Madrid popped up to Hammer at second for the second out of the inning. And now a ground ball. Third base side foul out of play. 0-2. Oh-2 from Boying, breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Boying comes set right side of the river. 1-2. Chopped. A high chop to Simmons at third. In on his forehand side. The throw across the diamond is strong to complete 7 innings of great work for Bobby Boying. In the inning for Geneva, no runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. They strand Santana's leadoff single. 7 innings through. Pioneers ahead by 6 on the Pios Baseball Network. Welcome back to Geneva. A new pitcher in the ball game for the Red Wings, and it's going to be the right-hander in Michael Sardu, who will come on to face Anthony Manganiello, Brandon Hammer, and Aiden Grabowski in the top of the 8th, a game in which Bobby Boying has dominated so far. He has a strikeout more in the bottom of the 7th. So far, 5 in the ball game, while only walking 1 for Bobby. He's allowed 2 runs on 5 hits as Sardu fires a fastball off the outside corner for ball 1. 1-0, popped up off the end of the bat. Shallow left field, that's going to drop down for a base hit. Just in fair territory, Manganiello, a wide cruise around first. He'll motor back and stop right there at first with a leadoff single. So for Anthony, he's 1 for 4, reaches for the first time in the ball game, had a pop-up fly ball and backwards K. His last 3 trips to the plate before that. Let's take a drive across the league. The Niagara Ironbacks shutting out the Niagara Falls Americans 8-0 today. The Jamestown Tarp Skunks ahead 3-2 over Newark. In the East Division, Glens Falls and Amsterdam as Dubeck takes a called, or check that, Hammer takes a called strike 1. Amsterdam and Glens Falls scoreless. A 1 with nobody out. Breaking ball lined foul. First base side. Up against the netting. Out of play. So Bobby Boying allowed a 2-run bottom of the 2nd. Since then, he's barely gotten touched up at all by the Red Wings. Only 2 hits in his last 5 innings of work as Elmira's in cruise control with a 6-run advantage. Righty Sardu comes set out of the stretch position, working right side of the rubber. Kicks and fires 0-2 for Hammer. Fly down the right field line. It's going to dunk foul. It was a long run for Benton. It was a long run for the second baseman Bermudez and the first baseman Ratterman. Count remains 0-2 with nobody out. To Hammer. Fouled off. So for Hammer, a fly ball and a strikeout, 0 for 2 in the ball game. He walked in the top of the 6th, then came around to score. As Manganiello takes off. Breaking ball lined into center field. Madrid settles under it. Manganiello can't find it as Madrid puts it away for a long out number 1. Retreating back to first base is Manganiello. So Brendan 0 for 3 in the ball game as he flies to deep center, and it'll bring up Grabowski. Manganiello extends his lead off at first, 1 out, top of the 8th inning. Grabowski stands in, dribbles one off his right foot in the batter's box, 0-1 the count. As calling time and coming out to the mound is Barron. He'll give Grabowski some time. So it'll be a 0-1 on the Pioneer shortstop with 1 out. Pioneers lead by 2 in the hit department. 8 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for Elmira. 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Geneva. Snap throw back to first, diving in safely ahead of the throw is Manganiello. A 1 to Grabowski. Dribbled on the ground to third. Santana. His only plays at first. He throws across the diamond. Nice stretch from Turner in time for out number 2. as Grabowski grounds out. Advancing to second in the process is Manganiello. And that'll bring up Ty Martineau, the DH. And rather a pinch hitter for Martineau. It's going to be Brooks Hicken. Now in. So a righty on lefty matchup with 2 outs. Manganiello leads off a second. Hicken fouls it back to the screen. 0-1 the count. One. Hit on the ground wide at first, foul, 0-2. So 0-2 the count on Hicken. First step out of the game for Brooks with 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Pioneers ahead of Geneva by 6 runs. Sardu one look at Manganiello. Now a second as he dances off of second base. Breaking ball misses off the plate to Hicken. 1-2. Fastball in the dirt. Hicken taking 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. So yeah, another bonk has been called on a Geneva Red Wings pitcher. This time it comes on Sardu. So it'll be a 1-2 count to Hicken with 2 outs as firing a breaking ball inside. Just taking for ball 2. Sticking the frame is Zane Barron, the catcher. Wanted that strike 3 call, didn't get it. Two. Hicken pops it in the air to center field. Settling under it is Jaden Madrid, and he puts it away for the final out at the top of the 8th inning. So for the Pioneers, no runs and a hit, no errors. They strand a runner on base. Let's take it to the home half. 7.5 through. Elmira ahead by 6 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Ohio's lead 8-2 as we head to the home half of the 8th inning. It's Bobby Boying taking the mound once again for the Pioneers as he remains in the ball game. A little bit of light action starting to get loose for Elmira down in their bullpen as Bobby fires a fastball high. 1-0 the count. Righty on righty matchup, breaking ball. Skips in and out of the dirt. 2-0 the count on Bermudez. It'll be the 8, 9, and 10 in the Geneva order. Bermudez followed by Ratterman and Zane Barron, the catcher. 2-0, fastball swung on and missed. I mentioned Boying, 5 strikeouts in the ball game. He's done a nice job keeping his control as well. For Boying, only 1 walk. 2 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits through 7+ innings of work. A pop-up to shallow center field. Brett Baker settles under it and puts it away for out number 1. So here comes Jack Turner in place of Brock Ratterman. Righty-righty matchup with 1 out and the base is empty. Boying fires, fastball outside corner for a called strike 1. A 1 from Boying, fouled back. 0-2 on Turner. For Jack Turner on the season, a 184 batting average across 24 ball games. 9 hits, an extra base hit, and 3 RBIs as he takes a breaking ball low and away. 1-2 the count. Boying fires and he drills Turner in the back. He'll go down to first base with 1 out. So here comes Zane Barron, catcher rounding out the Geneva batting order. 1 on and 1 out. Pioneers 8-1 error. Geneva 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. First pitch from Boying to Barron is a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike 1. More barking out of the Geneva dugout, not thrilled with that strike 1 call. 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Fastball fouled off. First base side out of play. 1-2 the count. One, 2 from Boying in the dirt. Nice stop from Manganiello as he keeps it in front of him. It'll be a 2-2 with 1 out as Manganiello a little bit shaken up. Two with 1 out as Turner takes off for second. Fastball fouled off. First base side out of play again. Two. Breaking ball in tight for ball 3. So it'll be a full count to Barron. Righty on righty matchup with Boying with one out. Middle infield at their regular double play depth. Outfield at medium depth. Turner extending to about a 12-foot lead off the first base bag. Boying looking for strikeout number 6 through 7 2/3 innings of work. Payoff pitch with one out. Fastball line down the right field line. Cutting over is Grimesti. He's got room. He makes the catch. Fires back to first, and Palmer just getting back in enough time was Turner. So a fly ball to right. 2 outs now and a runner on in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be back to the top of the batting order in Zach Banks. Banks steps out, calling time. Boying sets, Turner takes off. Banks lines it into right center field for a base hit. That's going to dunk in front of Grimesti, who cuts it off in the gap, and he fires in quickly to hammer. First and third for Geneva with 2 out. So for Banks, it's his second hit of the ball game. Banks is 2 for 4. First hit of the inning for Geneva. Second hit in as many innings, and that'll bring up the right-handed hitting shortstop Chase Fogg. Action getting loose now for the Pioneers prior to the top of the 9th inning. Would imagine that Bobby Boying might now be done after 8 innings of work. First pitch to Fogg, breaking ball off the plate, 1-0. With 2 outs, a high fly ball. Right field. Baker cuts over, calls off Grimesti, and puts it away for 8 strong innings of work for Bobby Boying. Cannot be understated his impact in the ball game. Elmira ahead by 6 as we roll to the 9th on the Pioneers Baseball Network. We head to the top of the 9th inning. In place of TJ Grimesti, it's going to be Tanner Carranza pinch hitting with the Pios ahead 8-2. He faces Michael Sardu, who fires fastball over the inside corner. Carranza taking for a called strike 1. Pioneers 8 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. For Geneva, 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Fisted into right center field. That's going to dunk down for a base hit. Tanner Carranza is aboard to lead off the top of the 9th. So after Grimesti gets pulled after what was a solid day for him, 1 for 3, reached base in 2 of 4 plate appearances, Manny Esley now comes to the plate with nobody out. As Esley takes a breaking ball off the outside corner, 1-0. So the substitutes coming in with the Pioneers comfortably ahead. Snap throw back to first. So Carranza singles to lead off the top of the ninth. It's now Manny Esley. 125 batting average across 3 ball games this season. Takes a fastball away. 2 balls and no strikes to count. That one smacked back up the middle into center field for a base hit for Esley. 2 on with nobody out. So here comes Michael Palmer. 2 on for Elmira in the top of the ninth with nobody out. Palmer will dig in for the left side against the righty Sardu. Comes set, 1 look at Carranza off a second with nobody out. Fires. Fastball just off the inside corner. Palmer taking 1 ball and no strikes. Palmer pops it straight up behind the plate. Zane Barron has room and puts it away to retire Palmer for out number 1. So the play goes P2 as Palmer pops up to the catcher Barron. 1 out in the top of the ninth, and that'll bring up the left-handed hitting Brett Baker. Baker 0 for 3 in the game, reached on an E3 by the first baseman Ratterman in the top of the 5th. Hit a sharp ground ball that rattled off his glove, and as he takes a fastball outside here. 1-0 the count. Baker fastball inside corner from Sardu, taking for a called strike 1. Level at a ball and a strike with 1 out. Pioneers on 8 hits on 9 runs and 1 error. Or rather, 8 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Geneva 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Firing away and inducing a swing and a miss from Baker. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count is the right-hander Michael Sardu. One, two. Breaking ball, slice, down the left field line. That could be trouble. That's going to get down for extra bases. Carranza easily rounds third and comes to the plate. Esley right behind. He'll come around third. He'll score on a 2-run triple for Brett Baker, and the Pios lead 10-2. So the 4th triple of the ball game for Elmira. On the 3rd hit of the inning, another run comes in. 2 runs come in, for that matter. 10-2. Pioneers lead, still with 1 out. So it's John Simmons with 1 out. Pios ahead by 8. Pios likely ahead by 9. Deep to right center field. Going back on his horse is Madrid, and cannot make the catch. That ball's dropped in the alleyway as Simmons gets to second base. Baker scores. 11-2 Pioneers lead. So an RBI double for John Simmons. Elmira ahead by 9. So here comes Vincent Favada, who had a 2-run triple of his own in the top of the first. Breaking ball outside corner. Favada taking for a called strike one. 3 pitchers faced in the ball game. It was Malachi Morgan, then Preston Leach, now Michael Sardu. Nothing in one, offering a check swing from Favada. He went around. That's strike 2. Oh-2 as Favada almost gets brushed with the breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Still with 1 out. Pioneers ahead by 9. Favada smacks it on the ground into left field for a base hit. Rounding third and coming to the plate is John Simmons. The throw from Freeman is on 1 bounce. It gets away from Santana, the cutoff man at third. An RBI single for Favada. It's now 12-2 Pios. Hit number 5 in the inning, run number 4. As the Pioneers are smacking the baseball around here in Geneva tonight. Manganiello, a high fly ball to deep right. Going back and settling under it, making the catch for out number 2. Is a defensive replacement in the ball game for Elijah Benton. And it's Anthony, or rather, apologies for the confusion. Still not entirely sure who that is out in right field. But nonetheless, it'll bring up Hammer with 2 outs. First pitch from Sardu to Hammer is a fastball on the outside corner. Brendan taking for a called strike 1. Oh, 1. Popped up off the end of the bat. It's a jam shot, shallow right center field. Cutting over is Madrid in the alleyway. Puts it away to retire the side. But for the Pioneers, 5 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for Geneva. They're down by 10 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back for the bottom of the 9th inning on what was a bottom of the 8th that led to this, tying the bow on a great outing for Bobby Boying as he goes 8 innings of work, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. His best outing to date so far this season as Michael Cobb, now in the ball game for the Pioneers, a sophomore out of Bridgewater State University, fires a breaking ball. 1-0 the count. As fastball high and in tight, 2-0. It's the right-handed hitting Dylan Briggs. Now is the replacement for Elijah Benton in right field. 2-0 the count, lefty on righty matchup, base is empty, bottom of the ninth inning. Elmira ahead by 10, cut on and missed into the catcher's mitt of Manganiello. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one from Cobb, popped up into right center field. Going back and settling under it is Carranza, just a few steps in front of the warning track as Briggs gave it a nice ride. And it's put away for out number 1. So here comes Aiken Santana with 1 out, bottom of the ninth inning. Against Cobb. Fires fastball inside, 1-0 the count. For Cobb on the season, this is relief appearance number 4, 13.5 ERA, 4 2/3 innings of work, 7 earned runs, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. 1-0, breaking ball outside corner, called strike 1 to Santana. Cobb pitching to an opposing batting average of .455. One to Santana, lined into left field for another base hit. Aiken Santana continues to remain hot. So a 3-for-4 ball game for the Red Wings third baseman. He's aboard with 1 out. And that brings up the lefty swinging Braden Freeman. Pioneers looking to lock down a victory. It would put them 14-13-1, 6-8 on the road. So with 1 out and a runner on, it's Freeman. Simmons even with the bag at third. Grabowski and Hammer up the middle with the regular double play depth as snapping and firing back to first base is Cobb. Palmer holding the bag. Left to right in the outfield. Favada remains in left. Baker in center. Now Carranza taking over in right. 12 runs on 2 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for Geneva. Fastball cut on and tipped off of Manganiello, who's a little bit shaken up. Pioneers entering today 3 games back of 4th place Niagara. Geneva 8.5 back of that last playoff spot, 10 back of first place. Pioneers 4.5 games back of first. Cobb sets and fires home at 0-1. Fastball outside corner. Freeman takes for a called strike 2. Oh, 2 with 1 out as Freeman calls time. One-two from Cobb. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Manganiello is going to fire down to second base. But first was occupied, so Freeman's retired for out number 2. So yeah, since first base was occupied, so Freeman's out. That's out number 2. For Freeman, it's his second strikeout of the ball game. He's 1 for 4. Red Wings down to their final out. It's the right-handed hitting Jaden Madrid, with Santana leading off a second on a wild pitch from Cobb. Wild pitch and a strikeout. Very interesting there as Cobb fires fastball high and away to Madrid. 1-0 the count. Mike sets out of the stretch position. Left side of the rubber. 1-0. This one lined into left field. It hangs up for Vincent Favada, who puts it away, and the ball game is over. The Pioneers come into John Saloni Field at McDonough Park and emerge victorious tonight, 12-2 over the Geneva Red Wings. 12 runs on 12 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers, 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for Geneva. That'll do it for our live coverage here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Be sure to tune in on Tuesday night, July 8th, as the Geneva Red Wings come to Dunn Field for a 6:30 p.m. matchup with the Elmira Pioneers. For now, I'm Farrell Hudson saying so long, and we'll see you next time.